Anyway,
startup,
this guy apparently is interesting. This is a cool video from what I understand. Wait,
if
what
you're
the
on
fuck? How do I do this?
Twitter, you've seen them. And if you're the Patagonia store at 770 North Point Street in San Francisco, they're probably inside of you right now. Of course, I'm talking about venture capitalists. And today, we ask, I'm here in beautiful Silicon Valley, California, the home of venture capital, which Investopedia defines as a type of financing that investors provide to startup companies and small businesses that are believed to have long-term growth potential. Sure, but over the last decade, the investment arm of the startup community has created a buzzy culture around itself, with some of its most successful operators becoming famous in their own.
Okay, this is not edited. Okay, look at his head. That is not edited. When I first saw it, I thought it was edited too. It's not. He actually has an egg head. No, it's not a joke. What was his name? Andreessen or whatever? What the fuck's his name? He's like a crypto guy too. It's not a yolk. Humpty Dumpty looking ass. Fuck's his name? Mark Andreessen. Yeah. He did block me. Yes, he did. I don't even know exactly why he blocked me. I forgot. But, bro, he follows fascists on Twitter. Bro. He's... I don't know what to say. He's just... He got his wealth stealing Sonic rings, lol. Oh, Jesus Christ. Literally him,
you know
this guy.
Okay? A heliomeson grafting device operable at 8 fathoms.
Own right. So do these mostly guys really just invest in companies, or is it something more? Our investigation
I've seen TikToks of this dude, and they're pretty good. Your best
Mark
roast of
Andreessen.
him? Write a defense of fascism. I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill this request. Fascism is a political ideology that is characterized by authoritarianism, nationalism, and suppression of individual rights and freedoms. It's a dangerous, oppressive ideology that has caused great harm and suffering throughout history. Okay, I'm not going to watch this whole thing. Let's watch this guy instead. I got to pee real quick.
began with a real-life venture capitalist, who we lured into our studio by telling him we are two young Stanford grads with a hot new startup that's like if Uber and GitHub had a baby whose skin was made of Allbirds.
My name is Sheil Manat, and I am a general partner at Better Tomorrow Ventures. We find really small companies and give them money and time and hope that they become big companies. So that's pretty much it.
All right, but lots of people finance projects that need money. Banks, the government, my sugar mama best. So what besides designer mushrooms are these guys doing that's so unique?
You look for crazy ideas that, if they become true, are going to change the world.
They would say that they are funding the innovation economy. If we didn't have venture capitalists, we wouldn't have Genentech or Intel or Apple or any of the great American companies that have brought us all of these innovations that we use in our everyday life. And that's true. You know, you can't dispute that.
Fundamentally, the job of VCs is to take long-shot chances on small businesses with huge potential, which must mean that everyone in venture capital invests in small companies and makes mad bills. Case closed.
Okay, never mind.
You
He wrapped
usually
it up.
lose money when you invest in a startup.
Never mind.
In aggregate, startup investments typically outperform the market. So you probably, if you're going to invest in startups as an asset class, you probably want to make 20, 30, 40, 50 investments.
Turner Novak is a writer and investor at Banana Capital Ventures, which focuses on young startups like Be Real, Tiggy, Mio, Peanut, and other companies that sound like Teletubbies.
And if you're just, a normal investor who doesn't do this as a full-time job, it's probably unlikely that you'll be able to find 20 to 50 really good, potentially high-quality opportunities. So you go to a venture capital firm that essentially raises a fund from anywhere from 20 to 100 or 200 or 300 investors.
Investing in a large number of startups can sometimes yield a great return.
Yeah, they used to outperform the market in the 0% interest rate market is a very good way of looking at it. This video, unfortunately, now is a bit outdated, even though it came out 3 weeks ago. That guy he's talking to is basically, first of all, what he just described to you is gambling, okay? I just want to let everybody understand. If your job is doing number stuff in the stock market, your job is just gambling, but with like extra nerdy shit in between. And for VCs, you don't even get like a lot of the extra nerdy shit, like the fundamentals or whatever the fuck you're talking about. Oftentimes are pee-pee-poofed into oblivion because you're always looking for that unicorn, okay? The entire fucking work of a VC, venture capital, is to find the one unicorn that justifies the 700 other companies you dumped $1 million here and $10 million there into that fucking went nowhere. Okay? Current VC losses. SoftBank posts record $32 billion loss at its Vision Fund tech investment arm. Yo. Nice. It's just like gambling, but if you're rich enough and fuck up bad enough, the government will give you free money so you can keep gambling. It's betting on fantasy football, except not football, it's companies. No, that's not true. Sports gambling is still significantly better than VC shit. Sports gambling is still something that you can, like, something that the gambling company has to limit you on, because you can actually hedge well enough to keep consistently making money. No, it's not cope. I didn't even know about this beforehand, but I didn't realize that like sports gambling companies literally can legally stop you from gambling if you're gambling too good. Did you know that? Did you know that? I bet you didn't. So can casinos, technically. If you are sharp, you literally can't bet anymore because they will limit your betting to $10 a play. My friend did. She made $17K in 2 days and wasn't allowed to place any bets for 5 days. Yeah, they restrict your account to a certain amount you can wager. It's usually like $10. They don't like fully stop you from gambling, I'm pretty sure, but they restrict it. They can do that in a casino too if you can count cards and you are counting cards at the blackjack table, which greatly improve your odds of avoiding the top of the hour ad break, because all of a sudden you counted cards and you have some, you have some finances, you have some discretionary income that you can spend on a $5 a month subscription, or maybe you found an Amazon Prime account laying around somewhere and you connected to your Twitch account where you get one free Prime subscription a month. Maybe you got gifted a sub with that luck that you got at the blackjack table. You were lucky enough to get gifted a sub. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Tamana, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Infinite Ryman, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Let's get back to VCs.
But investors and institutions who can afford that type of risk, like super rich people, pension funds, college endowments, and insurance plans, they're busy. They don't have time to figure out if a 3D printing cannabis company named Prungle is legit or not. So they give money to VCs and let them handle it. However, when you talk to venture capitalists about vetting potential investments, you don't hear a lot about numbers. You hear more about the vibes.
First and foremost, we're investing in a team of people and their ability to execute against their vision. As the company gets bigger, you're more looking at spreadsheets. And when I invest, there are really no numbers to go off of. So it's much more about the people.
So not only do VCs separate themselves from...
It's literally Elon Musk style comment, which, by the way, in the case of Elon Musk, is very successful, obviously. But for every Elon Musk who's been able to con his way to the top, There are hundreds of thousands of dudes that are probably back in your hometowns now because they moved to San Francisco and they said adventure capital on their Instagram bios and got, they got some money. They maybe raised some funds if they got lucky, and, it fucking failed dramatically. Okay, let's keep going.
Traditional investment by taking risks, they're also the vibiest form of investment around. And this past decade, they've grown. Between 2012 and 2021, low interest rates and technological advancement has led to $344 billion flowing from venture capital. And tech reporter Natasha Mascarenhas told us how this created a hyper-competitive market where VCs competed over founders.
If your competitor is willing to invest in, after 2 hours of meeting a founder, you need to start doing that too, or else you'll start losing out on deals.
And where there is excessive deal making, there is also excessive deals that should not have been making.
There has been so much money available for startup founders over the last decade, and that attracts bad actors sometimes, or that can, create bad incentives where maybe if you exaggerate a little bit, no one really calls you out on that.
Another double-edged sword of VC growth has been the pressure to talk a big game.
It's really tough to stand out as a VC, so you see them talk about and proclaim all these things to try to stand out.
And if we're not creating natural skepticism, usually the idea isn't disruptive enough.
So I'm going to talk about culture and revolution today.
I've made more in the last 8 years compared to the S&P than Buffett did in the first 8 years of Berkshire. Buffett did 1,000 points of alpha. I did 1,800 points of alpha. My returns are double Buffett.
And where does most of this dick swinging take place?
So venture capitalists brag a lot on Twitter.
Twitter is where all of the venture capitalists are, because you can't follow a socialist OnlyFans influencer on LinkedIn. VC Brags is an anonymous Twitter account that documents the most egregious examples of VC self-promotion. Posts like this VC talking about achieving his decades-long goal of graduating Wharton and being a Forbes 30 under 30. And this VC who heard about someone's tragic loss and took the opportunity to promote their fund. And this VC who says someone's
I'm so sorry for your loss, and know that my VC fund is invested in technology that can stop 86% of the deaths and serious injuries from car accidents. That's awesome.
Tragic loss and took the opportunity to promote their fund. And this VC who says that while the rest of us are quibbling over jargon, he is saving lives with his tweets.
To draw up deal flow, you have to kind of be a little bit loud on Twitter a lot of the time. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You're too self-aggrandizing on Twitter, and you're going to get dragged by me, unfortunately, but it's also might help your business.
It has evolved over the years into this kind of like thought leadership Olympics. Everyone's kind of picking their lane. It's like, am I the visionary? Am I the fight picker? Am I the meme sharer?
It would be great to see just more authenticity and intention. A lot of the times it's very fast moving, and people are always excited to go on to the next thing. I think it would be great to just see more conviction and people really digging in and really building expertise and being able to support the companies that they're investing.
So what do venture capitalists actually do? It's simple. They take cash from investors who are willing to accept risk and use that money to invest in startups. But the pressure to build their profile and land deals can make VCs act like they're doing more than that. But don't let the VCs fool you. They're humans just like us, which means they only want two things: money and attention, but mostly money. Speaking of, if any investor is listening, I would now like to take this moment to advertise an exciting new media startup that helps narcissistic white boys from Massachusetts find their purpose in life. It's called...
Dude, this guy, I've seen his TikToks, and he's pretty fire. I feel like look at this. Why is LinkedIn so weird?
In some ways, the point of LinkedIn is obvious. It's not like Instagram, where you're supposed to look cool. It's not like Twitter, where you're supposed to be funny. And it's not like Facebook, where you're supposed to discover that Harry Styles is a government psyop to turn our kids gay. LinkedIn, however, is where you go to network. It should be pretty straightforward. So why the hell is it so weird? I'm not inside the New York offices of LinkedIn, the preeminent career platform where people go for job listings, resume building, and toxic thought leadership. How microdosing helps me relate to the women in our office. What Andrew Tate can teach us about team. At what age should your child start drop shipping? It's earlier than you think. Let me explain. LinkedIn is far and away the most well-known site for hiring. Meanwhile, as a social network, its most successful users employ a very specific tone.
LinkedIn is mega cringe.
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 It's the
I feel
worst.
like there's like two sides to LinkedIn.
It was my dude. I had to do so much LinkedIn shit when I was doing biz dev at the Young Turk. It's fucking hell. It's the worst. I've never gotten an opportunity off of it either. I never got jobs off of it. I never got like hired off of it. I never got clients off of it. It's just the most ass cheeks, fucked up, awful place on the planet. It's nightmare. It's a nightmare platform. It's awful. All I got was recruiters calling me. I guess technically I could have had a job off of it if I talked to the recruiters. And are you saying you were bad at your job? No, I still got clients, just not off fucking LinkedIn.
On one side, there is the like digital resume. It's a place where you go to maybe find your next job. And then there's the other side of it, which is more of a social network.
Rachel Carton is a social media consultant and author of the Link in Bio newsletter. And she had a pretty simple explanation as to why every viral LinkedIn post sounds like Tony Robbins' Notes app.
The LinkedIn algorithm is a lot to blame for that sort of personality, you know, celebrating the wins or highlighting a really engaging, you know, post that you did on social media and talking about it and bragging about it. The algorithm likes that content, and so it feeds more of it.
Which is how you end up with posts like this CEO crying after laying people off, or this guy asking for a special place on the train for networking, or this guy talking about how he wants to work even after he's won the lottery, or this guy saying there's not a cost of living crisis, but a not knowing how to make money crisis.
He's right.
So why in the hell would anyone want to go viral in this
Get your
sea
fucking
of
money
cringe?
up.
You know, it's so
Stupid.
important today for C-level executives to have a presence on LinkedIn, right? It's the world's biggest networking platform.
Julie Livingston is a public relations strategist, host of the PR Patter podcast, and LinkedIn ghostwriter.
I think LinkedIn is very different than Facebook or Instagram or Twitter because somehow we take it more seriously. And again, I think that's because it was started as a business networking platform.
Julie has built a career off of helping people grow their LinkedIn profiles, and she described to us the most effective way to communicate on the platform.
It sounds like the person is speaking to you.
Really?
It sounds like their voice, like they're just having a conversation like you and I are having right now.
Sure, but some would disagree.
LinkedIn is where good content goes to die. It's the anti-social network where everybody has to be there, nobody wants to be there, and everybody has to post stuff that they don't really want to post there. And then a few people post stuff that they know will get engagement there.
Jack Rains is a writer, business school student, and author of numerous viral LinkedIn posts that parody its cringe voice.
I'm a curator of vibes. I live and die by my ability to shitpost on the internet. And yeah, so I guess I'm a professional LinkedIn non-influencer.
And what kind of quality content does a LinkedIn non-influencer put out?
It was like a personal finance hack on how to save money living in New York City. So I said that every day I go to a different hotel in Manhattan and I go eat their continental breakfast, and then I sign off on some random room number. I don't actually do this, but I wrote on LinkedIn like I did. Post it, go to sleep, wake up the next day, over 1 million views. It went viral.
Jack's parody posts point out an underlying truth about LinkedIn thought leadership. Authenticity matters a lot less than being good at writing the specific type of posts that the algorithm is horny for.
I feel like it exists in such an odd place because of the very obvious acting that happens on there. LinkedIn is a platform that's maybe even meant to be your most authentic self, and it feels like people are putting on a performance more than any other platform.
So if this is the state of LinkedIn now, where is it headed?
I mean, I think it's going to continue to grow in importance. As you know, we become a global economy, right? I mean, so I think it's going to continue to grow.
I don't think the algorithm will ever favor just like normal sort of storytelling. And so I think we'll see more people emulate the Adam Grants of the world and talk like they're experts, and that's usually how it all starts. It's like if you talk like you are a thought leader, then you are a thought leader.
I think LinkedIn has the best longevity out of all of them because it literally won't die. Everybody on Instagram could eventually go to TikTok or to another.
What is this? Hasan, what do you do with your money if you don't put it in stocks? Where do you put your savings? Sincerely wondering. I'm wondering because I legit don't know what to put savings into in America without owning any capital. Like, how do you ethically save from his viewpoint? Get my question? Reese's Pieces responds, he's a terrible person to talk to about that. He just banks everything. Also, this is super parasocial. Chill out. Efendim anne. Get your money up, chatter, not your funny up. Anne şu anda bunu yapabilecek ihtimalim yok yani. Fine. Fine.
Or like photo video sharing app. Twitter could die because there could be another better version of Twitter. But with LinkedIn, because it's so entrenched with like the professional job network side of it, I do think that you're starting to see more and more people post regular content on LinkedIn. So while LinkedIn is the worst social media site now, it has the most potential to be like the biggest one for both the social platform and professional, but it's not there yet.
So get ready, working world. Much like DJ Khaled and chlamydia, LinkedIn isn't going away anytime soon. And if the future of social media doesn't look like TikToks, Reels, tweets, or YouTube Shorts, at least it's something I'm familiar with. Cringe.
From this conversation.
LinkedIn Shorts coming soon. It's the worst, dude. That channel is good. What is this? How to Get Revenge 1989?